Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated, which is why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach when working with clients. We help gym owners and coaches build successful nutrition programs without reinventing the wheel. I'm your host, Nicole Aucoin, registered dietitian and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of The Basics of Nutrition Coaching, CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. I'm going to teach you how to take one step at a time to build a successful nutrition program where you finally feel confident talking about nutrition to your members and your communities. Today, I'm so excited to have James Hobart as a guest on our podcast. He is the Senior Manager of Programming for CAP, CrossFit Affiliate Programming. He's a certified CrossFit Level 4 coach and 11-year member of seminar staff. I'm pretty sure he was one of the first people. Don't quote me on that though. He is also the owner of HAM, has been the owner of HAM since 2018 until HAM was acquired by CrossFit in 2021. He owns CrossFit Boston with Austin Malleolo, which he still owns today. And he is just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to CrossFit programming and running an affiliate. He currently resides in Colorado and works at CrossFit headquarters location. In this episode, we talk about his journey as a gym owner and the owner of HAM, now known as CAP, the transition of CAP and what the vision is to support affiliate owners, what affiliate owners can expect from CAP, and how to access CAP if you are a CrossFit affiliate owner. One thing that is super clear in this podcast is that James has a growth mindset. He said multiple times, we are looking for feedback. We want your feedback. Even though HAM has helped hundreds of gym owners around the world, now they're casting a super wide net. They had over 3,000 gym owners sign up for early access to this CrossFit affiliate programming, which is officially being released on October 1st, and the paid version will be released in 2022. The goal of CAP is to make life easier for affiliate owners, and CrossFit Home Office is doing everything they possibly can to support affiliate owners to build sustainable and profitable gyms. Such a difference in the leadership team. I'm so excited with where things are headed in the future of CrossFit. So I hope you enjoy this podcast. At the end of this podcast, I'm going to give you 2 simple strategies to incorporate nutrition into your foundations program, as well as group classes, so that you can increase buy-in with your nutrition program for existing members. So make sure you tune in to the end. We will get to this episode with James Hobart right after this message. Gym owners around the world are seeing increases in members. When people come to a gym, they're looking for you, a gym owner or coach, to solve their problem. Most gym owners, and at our HQ location, people tell us they want to lose weight, they want to increase confidence, they want to get toned, they want to lose some body fat, or they just want to get healthy. I think that's a common theme that we're seeing across the board. We know that in order to solve any of those problems, we need something beyond just fitness. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we teach gym owners and coaches to combine nutrition, fitness, and accountability to help their clients see amazing results. When you structure a nutrition program paired with fitness and accountability, you are going to increase your client results, increase retention, and the lifetime value of those clients. They're seeing results, they're going to be happier, they're going to refer more people. So if you are a gym owner that's thinking nutrition is the missing piece of the puzzle in my business, we would love to help you. Click the link in the show notes to learn more about how HSN mentoring works. And if you are a gym owner or a nutrition coach, grab your gym owner and book a free call with me today. Enjoy this episode with James. James Hobart, welcome to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast.
Nicole, thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here.
I'm excited to talk all things HAM turned CAP today.
Yeah, it's been a really wild ride, and it's a lot of exciting stuff in the future, and in a lot of ways a dream come true for myself and the rest of our team. So yeah, I'm excited too.
Let's dive in. So give me a little background. I think when you think of people who write CrossFit affiliate programming, I don't think of any more qualified people than the team of people that are now running CAP. So talk to me a little bit about your background in HAM and how this transition has happened to now launch affiliate programming, which is so cool.
The reception overall has been really positive, which is exciting. So my background leading into this, which is really funny, and I've said this before, and I won't go through this whole story, but I always kick myself that I ended up in the fitness field. I never expected to end up here. I was going to law school at the time when I became really involved in CrossFit. And then when I finished law school, I kind of, dove into the deep end of fitness with CrossFit seminar staff, which I was very fortunate enough to receive a position on. And just being involved with affiliates like CrossFit Boston at that time, which I would later kind of come full circle to own. I was training out of and coaching at CrossFit New England and some other various affiliates in the Northeast. And, that journey eventually led me to competing in CrossFit, but my love of CrossFit and really being involved with affiliate was always the coaching portion of it. And when I finished competing in 2016, I was looking to get more involved in affiliates. And Austin and I had gone back and forth for years, and they had started HamPlan just around this time, 2015, 2016, Austin Malleolo and Spencer Hendel. And this is the long version. But I was looking to get more involved in affiliates. And so the first thing I did is myself and Austin and a third partner bought CrossFit Boston, which was really cool because that was the first affiliate I ever had a membership at.
Wow, that's really a fun fact.
Yeah. The prior owner, Neil Thompson, who was a huge mentor of mine when I first moved to Boston and started training at CrossFit Boston in 2008, wanted to sell and just try and go back to coaching rather than just owning an entire affiliate. And we got linked up with him, and it was very nice because, like I said, it was this full circle opportunity, and I had loved that gym. And to just be, I think CrossFit Boston was one of the first 50 affiliates in the world, which is a crazy stat to think about now. And anyway, long story short, after being at CrossFit Boston for a couple of years, I had started thinking about offering my knowledge from CrossFit seminar staff, which I really felt became sort of crystallized when I started working at an affiliate full time and owning an affiliate, because you do gain a special perspective. I mean, obviously seminar staff does equip you with this amazing tool set of all of the technical aspects of coaching, but you learn a lot more when you have to go in and apply it, and your name and your business is kind of on the line and you're more responsible for other people.
Yeah.
So I had just wanted to start sharing that information and that experience with others. And it started out really small. Like I always joke about this. I should create like a little, I don't know what nerdy coach would want to see it, but maybe somebody out there, but like a timeline of the development of the class plans. It's like from like the Model T Ford car to like a modern day hybrid car. It started off as just me typing them out on a Word document, and then slowly like adding a Word document formatting style, and then to what the class plans and the product look like now. It's just night and day, and it's amazing. But it started off with myself. I was programming for like one or two affiliates, and my wife at the time, I think girlfriend or fiance, was helping me write class plans, and she was sort of managing like the PayPal and all the back end of it. And then eventually, because Austin had been haranguing me for a long time to become more involved with him and Spencer on the HAM plan, I finally felt like it was an okay idea, and we could all do it without killing each other. So I jumped on with HAM plan late 2017, really 2018. And then we brought on another owner, Travis Herbanek, who's an MIT grad, and he really helped us build out, the product design as well as a lot of just the back end systems. As well as his partner, Lisette. She was really helpful in that as well. And the ball got rolling from there. COVID was this moment. I'm just going to get it all out right now. So you might not even have any questions left. To be the shortest podcast ever. But to get us where we are now, COVID was this huge turning point just because at that point, and I told you this before, COVID hit and I was like, well, fitness was cool. And, I was kind of like, we didn't know it was going to happen, but we doubled down and said, all right, what can we still offer affiliates and how can we help affiliates in this time? And there were a few things that we did to do that. And then from there, after COVID, as it started to wane and gyms started to open back up, first in the US and some internationally, our business really started to thrive. And, that slowly got the ball rolling to where we are today. But that's probably I don't know, the fast version.
I love it. I think understanding that this isn't something that you guys just created overnight. This has been in the works for many years. You guys are so qualified with creating programming and have so much different expertise to deliver and really high quality product that now can service affiliates. I want to go back to one thing that you mentioned, looking at how you developed class plans 5 years ago to today. What are some of the mistakes that you see new gym owners make when creating class plans?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think one of the biggest mistakes you see is starting off with something that you're not going to be able to do sustainably. And it was when I first started writing the class plans that I made. And I'll say this too, there's something, this is interesting. Like the class plan that I would write, I think for my affiliate, if I was like the owner and I was just doing my own programming and writing my own class plans, I think that class plan is different from the class plan we offer through now CAP. And, but we'll get to that later. But to answer your question specifically, I think one of the biggest issues new affiliates have is they're probably trying to do something that's not sustainable. And then writing a class plan that's not aimed at their specific coaching staff and the needs of their gym, I think could be two quick issues that could pop up. And for example, if you're starting off writing a class plan that's page or pages, and I bumped into one affiliate owner specifically out at the games, and we were chatting about this, and he's like, I've been writing class plans for my affiliate since the day we opened. And it was really cool to see what he showed me because it looked a lot like what we're doing on CAP. And there's some obvious differences, but there were some basic structural similarities and, pre-scaled options and suggestions for a general warm-up and stuff like that. But, he was talking about how, this is very tailored to my coaching staff, which I thought was really insightful and it made a lot of sense. And I think it is probably too easy as a new affiliate. You start writing a class plan and you write a class plan for you. And you don't write it for your other coaches. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things we try to do. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do for us on CAP is that we know we're casting, we're throwing out a really wide net.
Yep.
And, we're trying to provide a service and a tool and a product for affiliates all over the world mm-hmm. who might have different coaching styles, communities with different attitudes, tolerances, desires of coaching and desires of programming, coaches of different levels, so on and so forth. So we work really hard in our class plan to create something that can provide value to a veteran coach, a new coach, a coach somewhere in between, a coach who has an hour to prep, a coach who has 5 minutes to prep. And the product design of the class plan has come a long way in trying to do those things. Just because I think it's really easy. That's where a lot of the mistakes pop up is you're writing something only for you specifically, but you have a staff of coaches. And you also need to have something that you can continue to do for the long term because it does take a lot of time.
It takes so much time. I can tell you with our affiliate, we've never written one workout or a class plan because we have always went to the experts in that area and said, hey, I know that my time is going to be better spent nurturing the clients that we have than spending hours and hours trying to create something that I don't know is going to work or that I'm probably not going to be able to ensure every class is consistent. And I think when you're talking about creating a program or a class plan that's good for veteran and brand new coaches, it comes down to the consistency of delivering a class because, in a CrossFit, like some other types of gyms that are probably listening to this podcast, you want to provide a consistent experience. And if your class plan isn't laid out, you're not going to have that consistent experience between classes, and that's going to hurt your business.
Yeah. And this is what's so interesting. And I think one of the hardest things to do, like you said, that's really well put, is that we are striving to give affiliates, fundamentally the ability to do a couple things. One is we really do want them to save time. It's like anyone out there who's an affiliate owner or a coach who's regularly written class plans and then continue to scale and develop the quality of that class plan is you fully understand how much time that takes. Same thing if you're writing programming. And honestly, I don't think it's terribly hard to write good, effective programming, but still that takes time, and not everyone has a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone has a passion for that prep work. Their passion might be nutrition, or their passion might be, just being the welcome wagon at the gym. Like, I just want to be in the class with my people. And that makes a lot of sense. And so our goal is to make sure, we want to provide that tool to people, but also at the same time, in terms of consistency, we do want consistency. But I think one of the most beautiful things about an affiliate, and what I've always liked, and this was something a mentor of mine, Eva Claire Sinkowski, who I worked with a lot when I was first on seminar staff, she once said to me, because I said, I want to give all the lectures at the seminar weekend. I was like, I want to give them all. Well, how can I do that? And she sat me down and she said, James, would you want to listen to you give all the lectures throughout this weekend? And I was like, oh yeah, really good point. I probably wouldn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing in a CrossFit class, right? Like, there should be some level of consistency where it's like, athletes of the same ability level should have, predictable scaling across all classes. And the class should, if you run 60-minute classes at your gym, then the class should end at 55 minutes so people can have 5 minutes to, grab their shoes and their coat and walk out the door. Like, there should be consistency in those structural things. But at the same time, we wanted to create something that allows coaches to grow. And while, the meal that they serve is consistent in quality, how they dress it up or how they add their flair to it or bring their personality to it, you still want to leave room for that. And I think that's a really challenging thing to do, in a 2 or 2.5 page class plan. But we think about those things a lot, which is really fun.
I think it's important. So I've seen some of the class plans. You've sent them over to me so I could take a look before we recorded this podcast. And it's so comprehensive. Going back to point number 1 of save time, like, there is no gym owner that has, I don't even know how many hours goes into what you guys are creating, but I'm sure it's a lot that gym owners or coaches do not have to create all of that. And, if you can have the experts help you develop a class plan and a program that you can deliver and be able to spend more time with your clients to develop those relationships in that community. I mean, that's really what, in my opinion, our role as affiliate owners is all about.
Yeah. And that has been one of the big goals, like I said, from the outset, is to give affiliate owners and coaches the chance to do just that and not have to worry about, I don't know, the heavy lifting of these technical specifics in terms of writing a class plan. It's nice to hear you say that they're comprehensive. What's really been fun about this process is last year when I was at Handplan, before we, rolled into this role with CrossFit and transforming Handplan into CAP, we started to take really our first formal rounds of feedback, and focus groups and things like that. And I think one of the other really interesting things about this is, especially with coaching and programming and class planning, it's so easy to fall into like this tunnel visioned path based off of what you've had success with, and maybe like development of any product or services like this. But I think this is also one of the tricky traps of CrossFit. Like, I do think CrossFit is such an amazing tool because it even works when it's applied, I would say, relatively poorly. It's like it still can be really effective. And even when applied poorly, it still can be safe, right? Like, how do we all become good coaches? Well, at some point we all sucked. And the world didn't end when we were all terrible coaches. And so the reason I bring that up is, I think I've done all this thoughtful stuff and I'm writing this comprehensive class plan and we're pouring all this effort into it. And we're pouring our effort into the things that we think are most important and have helped us the most. And then you'll get this piece of feedback out of left field and someone's like, hey, this stuff is great, but man, really you need to focus on this, or really we want to see this, or here's the issue I deal with in my affiliate. And it's like, it's really fun because you're like, there's this whole new thing that you can chase down and develop, but there's just so much feedback to be had. And one of the most exciting things about, starting CAP and developing CAP is our feedback pool has grown from, 200, and it's going to be at some point, 2,000 or more. And that's really, really, really exciting.
I think that's
awesome. Really exciting.
And, I think one of the cool things, you guys have those videos where you're on like next to a whiteboard, kind of going over like, hey, these are the high points. These are the things that you need to look at in the workout. These are the tips. These are the things that you want to address as a coach so that you can help support your athletes through that workout. One thing that you mentioned to me before with CAP is that you guys are following sometimes the main site programming, sometimes not. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys are creating the programming.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So the way it works right now is CAP is synced up with main site. It really started doing that this Monday, and today's Monday, today the 16th.
It is.
There we go. There it is. So today's the 16th. So CAP and main site are synced up right now, but obviously there's a couple hurdles you have to clear. So one of those hurdles is main site, and it's going to remain unperturbed. And main site has always meant to be this destination where, regardless of your skill level, you can come and get a challenging CrossFit workout that, fits and embodies CrossFit methodology to a T. And it's been really nice because CrossFit resources have only been built out more and more over the year. They offer scaling now, which is really cool. And they offer specific tips, typically now aimed at the beginner athlete. So if I stumble upon CrossFit.com, I can have an idea of how to do it. So with CrossFit.com, though, they still program rest days 2 days a week. And because CrossFit.com is a real thoroughgoing GPP program, you see things like 10Ks or swims, a lot of things that are totally impractical to ask affiliates to do, unless you have like the Mecca affiliate. I would imagine swimming at an affiliate would be an insurance nightmare, but there are like pools out there. So long story short, basically what happens is main site will get programmed. Then the CAP team will take main site's programming and they're going to make adjustments based on stuff. So obviously if you have some workouts that are like going to last an hour, or you have a workout that has some piece of, some wild piece of equipment from the games, we want to adjust those things so that they can be implemented in the majority of affiliates following CAP, but still hit the stimulus of the workout. And then the next thing that the CAP team does is they fill in the rest days to make sure that we can fill in those rest days to satisfy the variance need of the week, but also without being redundant on stuff that's already been programmed. Now, once that's happened, then we have like a meeting where we'll sit down and we'll talk about scaling. We'll talk about workout intent, stimulus, logistical considerations, and we'll kind of have this big powwow where we discuss what are those things that we want to hit and focus on this month inside of each of these workouts, as well as in a broader structure, what's our general focus going to be? And then we'll start to construct things like the class plans and the warm-ups around those class plans. But that's a really important part of the process for us, because one of the things we've talked about, we talk about this in our level one. We talked about this, I talked about this in my athletes in my affiliate. Spencer and I, who has a Spencer Hendel, who contributes significantly to a lot of the content development and leads a lot of that content development. We talk about this, and he's coached for years. Is like one small example is you can't always scale the same way. If Diane shows up handstand push-ups and deadlifts 3 times a year, and you have an athlete who's always scaling handstand push-ups the same way, or as a coach, I'm always scaling the handstand push-up the same way, we're going to stymie development at some point. There has to be, variety even in that scaling approach and that coaching approach, in the progression approach, so we try very hard, obviously, to like, hey, we're going to teach you how to do a progression for a handstand push-up, but eventually we're going to evolve that and teach you another way to do a handstand push-up progression, because one, as a coach, that developmental stuff is necessary. And also that'll trickle down to your athletes. So that's the general process of kind of how we get to the point where now we have our week of programming. Now let's start diving into it and understanding what do we want it to do for the affiliate, and what should it feel like for the athletes in the affiliate. And then we really start constructing all of that, other auxiliary content.
I love it. I think you make a really good point. I think it's easy to always go to the same scaling options, but we want to give those athletes variety so they're not doing ring rows every single time that something comes up, right?
Yeah. No, and we've all experienced this, right? Like, I've told an athlete in my gym how to open their hips for a year, and they go on vacation and they come back and they're like, hey, I was at this gym in Florida and this coach Nicole told me that I should hit my head to the ceiling and I open my hips now. And you're like, I've been telling you that for years.
Yeah.
And so, you want to try and give coaches that developmental tool. And, we all have those things that we rely on, those cues and those strategies and scaling options. And we know our noon class, that you got Sally in the noon class who always scales to a banded pull-up whenever pull-ups show up. So we just really want to try. And the gym team, the affiliate team at CrossFit has this slogan, tools, not rules, which I really love. And we've wanted to create something that goes beyond just programming. I don't want people to think we're offering programming. We are. But on top of that, this really should be a concierge programming service where you want for nothing in terms of programming, coach development, and implementation of programming. And so, that's been our goal from day one at Hamplan. And we're going to continue to bring that over to CAP. And I'm excited because we have a lot more resources now, which is really fun.
And an unendless amount of resources. So many. It's funny that you say that. I dropped into a CrossFit in St. Pete a few years ago, and the guy, I don't remember the coach's name, but he looks at me. He's like, "Do you have a muscle up?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Why don't you have a muscle up yet?" I'm like, "I don't know." Sure as anything, I got a muscle up that day because I was like pissed that he said one keel and, got it on that first day. But it's funny because I think that's an important aspect of being a coach too. It's important to go listen to other coaches because you're going to hear cues that you aren't using right now that you can develop. I think that was one of the things that I loved most about the level 2. While it was the most humbling experience that I've ever been a part of in regards to CrossFit, you walk away realizing, man, there are so many different ways that you can say the same thing, and each of those different ways will connect with a different person.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And I'm glad you had that experience that, it is, the level 2 is intimidating and humbling, but yeah, you do have access to like a whole group of veteran coaches, who have been running affiliates and in the trenches for years. And that's what I always tell every time I coach level 2, I say, guys, I'm really fortunate because I've been at a lot of these, and every weekend I go to a level 2, I walk away with some new progression or strategy or cue or idea. And it's like, I just have access, as close as you could to these coaches and their experience. And sometimes I feel like, wow, you guys, I hope I'm teaching you half as much as they teach me in those weekends. I'm glad to hear you say that. That's very cool. And if we can bring a 1% of that to coaches through CAP, I think we're starting to do a good job. But, I think in my mind, I want to get it to go further. So,
well, I definitely think that you guys have so many resources to help deliver an amazing product to affiliate owners and coaches so that they can feel more confident and coach their athletes to be better versions of themselves. I want to dive into some really cool things you guys are doing with CAP. Essentially, affiliate owners can sign up and get CAP for free now until the end of the year, right?
Yeah, if they want to go to CrossFit.com, there's a little banner and, programming. You click on that and you can get on the wait list. And we're quickly pulling people off the wait list, which is really exciting. And as of 10/1, so the way we've been operating right now is that we pulled over a lot of the previous design structure, product design from what we had at Hamplan. But as of October, I don't know if we've even released this or said this yet, but now we did. As of October, it's going to get a full redesign and just really, look and feel and taste like CrossFit. And the new version of the class plan is very cool. Like I said, it's not just a tome, but of text. It really is a tool that a coach could use to prep all night, or they could prep with it on the fly, which I think is really exciting. But yeah, it's free till the end of the year. So it's CrossFit.com. And then make sure if you're like the head coach at your gym too, but you're not the owner of the affiliate, make sure you have your affiliate owner, the LOR, sign up right now because they will get access to the class plans and programming through the affiliate portal. So shoot them an email if you're not the head honcho there, but you're running all the classes.
So if you're the head coach, we need the owner, the licensee on record to actually sign up for a class plan.
Yeah. They'll have access right now. And we're looking to build that functionality out so we can have more coaches at the gym have access to those. But, that is incoming toward the end of the year next year.
Awesome. Okay. I have a couple more questions for you. If a gym is not a CrossFit affiliate, can they sign up for CAP?
Yeah. So right now, this was one of the big things that we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure this was a tool that was available to CrossFit affiliates. So
okay.
We want you to be a CrossFit affiliate and to sign up and have access to that. However, if you're looking into affiliation or you're looking at affiliation down the road, please reach out at programming@crossfit.com just so we can start having that conversation and set you up for success, and at least give you some insight into, really what is it that you get through CAP, and, what direction are we headed in. That'd be really, really cool. But yeah, it really is meant for a tool for affiliates. And we're excited about that to give them that tool. So that is what the programming is aimed at. Though, like I said, they get more than just class programming. We want to try and give affiliates every tool possible. They also include a competitors program if you have that at your affiliate. There's lifting track if you have that at your affiliate. There's a really cool, which is one of my favorite tracks, and this was something that really came out of COVID, but an at-home track, which is based off of the affiliate workout of the day. We give an option if you have low equipment, like a dumbbell and a jump rope, and then an option if you don't have any equipment at all, maybe you have a backpack or like just your body to move through space. So on top of the class plans and the coaching resources, there are those tools as well, which is really, really, really exciting. And I imagine those extra tracks will continue to grow down the road. At least I hope so.
I love that. And, I think it's really important here in the US. A lot of gyms aren't closed right now, but you go to other places around the world and at home programming is something that they need. Right. So it's unfortunate, but I'm glad that that's available. And at the very minimum, if you're a CrossFit affiliate owner and your gym is shut down, like sign up for a CAP so that you can see what it looks like and use the at-home programming at the very least to save you some time.
Yeah, the at-home programming, like I said, that was the thing. When COVID hit, we kind of sat down and we were like, well, this was really fun. I have no, and we were doing hand plan as a second job. I won't say it was like a hobby because we took it more seriously than that. But when COVID hit, we sat down and we thought to ourselves, like, what could we still offer affiliates? Affiliates are closed. At our affiliate, we were running Zoom classes, which was, for everyone who did that, I'm not glad we got to go through that suffering together, but man, what an experience. Like for all the coaches out there who are just hustling, coaching Zoom classes in their living room or in their basement. It was pure wildness. So we wanted to try and offer affiliates some sort of tool. And that's really how the entire Ham at Home product was built out. We built it out off of our affiliate product. We took the daily program, we scaled it down to fit a low equipment and a bodyweight option. We did a warm up, we did some skill work, and then we started offering a video component to it with movement demos and a little bit of extra instruction on both versions of the workout. And it was a huge hit. And it makes sense, obviously, that it was a huge hit, but it was like in my head as we were doing it, I'm like, this is never going to work. But both, at that time we were offering it to individuals as well. The Ham at Home individual community was like out of control. They're absolutely amazing. And then, the affiliates were very grateful as well. And I think it allowed us to start to look at, like I said, what we were doing in a much broader sense. Like it really changed my attitude of like, we're not just offering programming. It's really like, all right, my skills are in coaching, my skills are in writing program, analyzing program. Given that skill set, what are all the tools that we can offer affiliates? It's because nutrition for me is certainly not the skill I'm going to offer anybody.
You can leave that to us.
It's like, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But it's like, we all have that, that passion and what our skill set is, but we really push it hard there. The at-home program is very cool. I don't want gyms to have a necessity to use it, but if they do want to use it, maybe it's for members who are traveling. It is a really cool tool. I don't want anyone to be in a position where they have to use it.
Right. It's unfortunate. The only reason why I know is because we have quite a few gyms right now that are at home and hunkering down and having to do Zoom. But they're making the best of it, doing some Zoom cooking classes and all the other things to keep their members engaged beyond Zoom workouts, which is awesome. But you bring up a really good point, having an option for people that are traveling. Hey, here's a way to stay on track with your fitness while you're on vacation or traveling for work or whatever the case may be. As we wrap up this podcast, is there anything that we haven't mentioned today? And then I definitely want you to let affiliate owners know where they need to go to find out more information about CAP.
Yeah. One of the things I would say is like, regardless if, so with CAP, it's free till the end of the year. We will start charging for it at the start of 2022. It's crazy to say, in January of next year. But up until that point, even if you're like, hey, I love writing programming for my own gym and, you're going to have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands. Like, look, I get that. But be a part of this process. CrossFit really has never offered a product or a product like this. It's really exciting. It's wholly built out of the intention to provide, like I said, more tools to the affiliate community. And one of the big things, and as scary as it is for me sometimes, because right now, unfortunately for everybody out there who's probably listening to them or watching them, I'm in a lot of the video content and it's scary to receive feedback on on content and a product where you're front facing. And what I'm excited about is the fact that now, inside of CrossFit, we have access to a cadre of hundreds of seminar staff who are some of the most talented and successful coaches and affiliate owners from all over the world. So eventually to be able to pull them into CAP from all corners of the globe is a super exciting prospect. I've always said, if no one knows who I am in a year and a half in terms of CAP, that'll be a really good thing. They'll just know that, they'll just know about CAP. But on that note, just share us your feedback. Even if you never think you'll use it, a day past January, we have a really robust feedback process. We've been getting some amazing feedback so far. It's nerve-wracking and scary to get feedback, like I was talking about, especially as the pool of opinions grows. But at the same time, it's essential to what we're trying to do. We've received some amazing feedback so far as developing the product, developing the programming, developing what tools and maybe future tracks and future tools coaches and affiliates want and need. So I would just kind of really, if I was to kind of pound the pulpit there, I just really hope, just sign up, try it out, give us your thoughts. They won't go unheard. I will definitely find out about them and, try to implement all of those that point towards something constructive and productive for what we're trying to do. So that's kind of what I would say there. That's like my pitch.
I love it.
I want people to help out.
I love it. Thank you for casting that wide net. I know this is going to be so amazing in the long term. There are two things that I've thought of as you were mentioning that. One is the piece of feedback that I actually mentioned to you when we were talking before we started this podcast, partner workouts on Saturdays. Like that's crucial at our gym. I know it wasn't at CrossFit Boston, but tell me, are we going to have partner workouts?
It wasn't because of me. Our members at Boston, and we run this thing, our head coach there, Kevin McCarthy, runs this thing called Suffer on Saturday. And people love it. And partner workouts, oddly enough, like all the things we want feedback on. I can't tell you how many people have been like, we need more partner workouts. Saturday weekends are international CrossFit partner workouts. What's funny is because I've traveled a lot. I've been in a lot of affiliates. Like this is something I know. But like I said, it's just one of those things like they don't, you just overlook it. It's maybe not the tool at the center of my sphere of concern, but we're changing that. We're going to do partner workouts now, and we're going to make sure they have options for if it is a partner workout, and maybe you are a gym that doesn't like partner workouts. Do those exist? I don't know. We'll give you we're going to have an individual option in the logistics section of the class plan. So like I said, the goal is to not necessarily pigeonhole you or your gym into a specific way or only one way, but to make sure our general direction is deeply rooted, obviously, in CrossFit methodology and CrossFit programming. But in pursuit of that, we want to make sure you have every tool in your affiliate to apply it. So yeah, short answer, partner workouts. I heard you guys, they're coming back. We're going to make sure they're available. So
I love it.
All those tools will be in there of all the things everyone could ask for. It's partner workouts.
It's my favorite day of the week. That's for sure. I get to have a built-in rest every day.
There you go. That's what's important.
Exactly. One other thing that I think is super crucial we didn't mention yet. As a gym owner, if we just got a class plan that was in a PDF, it would take time to transfer it over to WOD tracking. You guys are currently integrated with Sugar WOD. Tell me about that.
Yeah, no. This is a really good question. And again, this was something like I'm old school, which is I'm just old in CrossFit terms. And so I'm a print out the PDF guy. I'll bring it to me into class. I'll look at it. I'll highlight stuff on it. But it was funny when we did our first real focus group with affiliates, they were like, yeah, we do everything in app. I've talked to affiliate owners who are like, I don't even own a computer. And I guess to me, I do a lot of work on a computer. It makes sense that I have a computer. It makes no sense to me that people don't have computers, but that's the kind of stuff you learn. Hey, it's like I input everything on my iPad. And so it's like you need to be sensitive to that stuff when you're providing someone a tool like this, when that tool goes to them developing and improving and running their livelihood. That's their gym. So yes, right now we're integrated with SugarWOD. We are working and finalize our integration with Beyond the Whiteboard, and we're continuing to pursue other platforms to make sure we have more integrations, just to make that entire process easier for affiliates, because that's a huge time-saving opportunity. There's 1,000 other benefits in terms of just interaction with your membership, having them log, track, see progress, so on and so forth. So those are the two we have right now. SugarWOD is up and operational. Beyond the Whiteboard, it should be starting very shortly, if it already hasn't. And then, like I said, we're looking into other ones.
Awesome. James, thank you so much for taking the time to jump on this podcast and talk all things CAP and programming. I will make sure in the show notes to put some links for people to find you and more information about CAP. So if you're listening to this and you are interested in some awesome CrossFit affiliate programming, click the link in the show notes so that you can get all access to CAP.
Yeah, CrossFit.com. I think /programming is where you can join the wait list, and reach out to me on Instagram. Nicole, I appreciate you being a super champion of this and having me on. So very, very grateful. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that episode and you could hear the story behind CAP. I think it's so awesome when you can see the inside scoop of what happens. I think sometimes as affiliate owners, we just see the things that come out in morning chalk up or the affiliate emails, but we don't really know the story behind how things happen. And I'm so glad James came on the podcast to share his story. It is so evident that they are there to support affiliate owners. I know at our HQ location, I could not imagine me or my husband spending any time writing programming. That's not our expertise. We are experts in nutrition. We save the programming for the programming experts. I've had a look at the CAP programming. It is so in-depth and comprehensive. There are a lot of different options out there. But I think it's really cool that now CrossFit has an option that matches MainSite that's going to help support affiliate owners if they want to follow that. I can't think of a more qualified person. I mean, 11 years on seminar staff. He's definitely learned a lot over the years that he can share and help. And I think what is also really cool is that they're going to be able to pull from other seminar staff around the world to have a bigger international presence with the bigger release of CAP in January. So I'm excited for where this is headed, and I hope that you click the link in the show notes so that you can get early access for free, because they are giving it to every single gym owner for free for the rest of 2021. So click the link in the show notes and put your name on the list so that you get access to CAP. As promised, I said I was going to give you 2 strategies to incorporate nutrition into a foundations program and to classes. The first one, if you have a group foundations or a personal training foundations on-ramp program where you work one-on-one with individuals, that's exactly what we do at our HQ location. Every new member starts off with 4 personal training sessions. And just like the warm-up or the strength component or the metabolic conditioning component, there is a nutrition component to our on-ramp. The first day we talk about balance and the plate method. We actually give one of those 3 compartment containers to every single new member. We want them to visualize what their plate should look like. So many people don't incorporate veggies at all. And if they do, it's just a tiny little bit and their plate is not balanced. So if you can incorporate nutrition into that foundation section during every single class, instead of it just being a one-time seminar, which is what I hear a lot of gyms do, people will start associating nutrition help with you and your brand. So you could do it in the warm-up section or at the end of the workout as part of a cool down. Maybe you walk with that new client 200 meters and you just talk about balance and the plate method or what they had around their workout, hydration, eating out, some of the simple strategies so that they can start making health a way of life. Even with all of our clients signing up for nutrition, individual nutrition coaching, accountability and support, and foundations, they still have that nutrition component. So it is driven home every single time they come in for new members. So I highly recommend that you do that. The other strategy is nutrition questions of the day. So at the beginning of the class, you have everyone do a run or whatever you do for their warm up, and we go around and answer the questions of the day. It's a little bit easier now with most gyms having caps on classes with the amount of people that come in. You don't have 30 people in one class, and it takes a while to do that question of the day, but it's a really great opportunity for you to ask a question and then give some tips at the end. So what did you have before your workout? What's your favorite balanced breakfast recipe? What's your favorite crock pot recipe? And let everyone share some information, and then you have some tips at the end. If someone says, this is one more tip, bonus tip, if someone says to you, man, that workout was really hard, your coach's first reaction should be, hey, how'd you sleep last night? What did you eat before you came? There's so many factors that go into your perception of how hard a workout is beyond just the actual workout. If your clients aren't fueling their body before their workout, if they're not fueling their body throughout the day, it's going to be tougher for them when they are working out. This is an opportunity for you to help them connect the dots and guide them to get started and upgrade their membership to nutrition coaching. It actually just happened yesterday with one of our members. She did the workout and she told my husband, who was coaching, she said, Jason, this workout was really tough for me. And he said, well, what did you eat before you came to the gym? And she said, I haven't had anything since breakfast. And it was 5:30. Even with a gym that focuses on nutrition so much, people have to hear things so many times before they take action. And sometimes your nutrition just doesn't make it a priority. But if you have coaches and staff that are constantly helping your clients connect the dots, that nutrition is going to help them not only improve performance and body composition, but achieve optimal health and wellness, and also mindset and happiness. Nutrition is a part of all of these aspects. So if you are truly in the business of helping people, which we all are, and we want people to become the best versions of themselves, we need to be prioritizing nutrition. I hope you enjoyed this podcast with James Hobart. And if you are enjoying this podcast, please leave a 5-star review and don't forget to subscribe. Can do something extra special and actually write a review so this podcast can reach more people. Don't forget to click the link in the show notes for additional episodes that support these topics that we're talking about today, as well as the link for CAP programming and to get in touch with James. Hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we'll see you back next week.